those of us that have chosen to take on the museum profession and to work in the art world, first and foremost, you need to have art and artists at the core of your mission, about why you do what you do and to be passionate about it, and to try to put your institution in a much better place than it was when you found it. And oftentimes you can come into a really great situation where everything seems perfect and you have people coming in the door and it's popular, but there's always room for improvement, and there's always room for giving your own sort of personal feel to a place. And I think that you have to have fun while you're doing that. So I definitely encourage my entire team to be having fun doing what they're doing. Sometimes that seems impossible with the amount of work that you have to do, but you also have to keep that vision at the forefront of your mind, that you're working towards making your museum a better place. And I think as long as you do that, you're in a good place. Every museum should have, as one of its core values, a dedication to education. That's something that we're going to look at, how our educators across the system can look at societal topics from different perspectives. So if you take energy, if you take race, if you take these sorts of things that we can look at from a variety of perspectives, I think that's where it can get really interesting. But not only education, technology, our reputation to the world and the visitor experience, those are all things that we can unite around, do in unique ways, but all towards the same endpoint, to make sure that our visitors have a world-class experience. You have to be realistic, and you have to work with your team, and you have to sit down and really talk about how can we do this, and how long is it going to take, what kind of resources are going to be involved, is it going to cost a lot, or is this a free quick fix sort of thing? And you prioritize, and you do the low-hanging fruit, which is the term that everyone seems to love to say, very quickly. So you might be able to change some signage, you might be able to hang the art a different way, and then you move on to the bigger issues. And some of those things may take 3 to 5 years, or if you want to build a new building, that might take 10 or 15 years. But you sort of put all of your ducks in a row in a way that it makes sense, and work towards those goals and start checking them off one by one. And I think that's the realistic way to do it, as opposed to just jumping in feet first without a plan and trying to make things happen. And I think that unless you have a plan in place, you could be in some treacherous waters. I always try to be not only a mentor, but an encourager, and this will sound odd, but an enabler. Not in the classic sense where you're having someone's bad habits flourish, but enabling your team to do really fantastic things, giving them the resources, the opportunities, the freedom to be able to do those sorts of things. I mean, ultimately, I want to put trust and faith into my team so that we're all driving the ship together. So I think that that's something that a leader has to be able to do, is to put faith in others and not be solely reliant on yourself and thinking that you're the one that's always right, because you're not always right. And I think that you have to really realize that and create a really dynamic culture where everyone is in the same boat and working together to realize your goals.